This is Grimm Grinner on all channels.
Welcome to the Waste.
Welcome to the Waste.
Welcome to the Waste.
Welcome to the Waste.
Welcome.
Are you having a thirst meltdown? Do you need a blast of energy? Launch into an atomic maple today. Enjoy the sweet, sweet flavor of maple while you rejuvenate yourself.
Warning. Atomic maple may actually contain nuclear waste. Read the label before reading. Not to be consumed by anyone under the age of 16.
To the Waste.
Welcome 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 to the Wastes. Good afternoon, my listeners out in the Wastes. This is Grimm Grinner on all channels, reporting to you today from a small outpost previously held by some members of the Twin Town Militia. The story of how that happened and why I'm here will come up in a short bit, but I think it's better to start at the beginning to give you context for today's broadcast. As I'm sure most of you are aware out there, a small sort of mission of mine for a very long time has been getting my hands on a radiation-free bottle of atomic maple. This isn't my only reason for being, but it has been something that's always kind of been in my back pocket whenever I'm scavenging. Hell, I named the old RV after it after much debating. And we all know that the Domino Club has their own take on it that's more moonshine than maple. Every time I scavenge, I've got a small hope that I'll finally find one. It hasn't been seen since before the fall, when even then it was already a special edition soda released here in Ontario. But god damn, was it delicious. Hell, I've kept the bottle cap with me ever since as a way of keeping it fresh in my mind. There was actually a false alarm the other day with with Sam Saction supposedly finding one that Longshot was able to grab for me, but alas and alack, that was irradiated. Definitely not a pleasant few days while the rad meds had to flush my system. However, my bad luck seems to have finally broken. I got word from a trade caravan passing near Burblack that someone had picked up a radio signal playing an ad for atomic maple about a week earlier. Unfortunately, they were close to militia territory, which meant they thought it was either a trap or they just didn't want to pay any tolls for the region. Of course, that doesn't stop me, as you all really well know. This time, however, I did take at least one precaution. I brought along backup in case it was a trap. The tolls are really never much of a concern. Militia has to actually catch you to enforce those. I was able to rope Jack into making this run with me, which did mean leaving Tanner with Longshot and Jailbreak, so hopefully the bunker's still in one piece. Luckily, the route to the area seemed pretty cut and dry, with a nice wide berth around the rift and not going close to major water sources. I've been hearing a lot of really messed up stuff about those areas lately. The tricky part once we got through the borders into militia territory was finding wherever the radio signal was coming from. Jailbreak's been working on rigging up something to help with that using, I guess, like some old world tech, but it's been slow going since the parts he needs would render my own signal a lot weaker. So, if anyone has any old radio parts or knows where an old tech scavenge spot is, I have my walkie on and turn to 151.150 for the trek back. Would be fun to go on a small side quest for some scavenging anyways. Back on track here, since I don't know how long I can keep this transmission up without getting caught. We did unfortunately have to wander around in the ruins of an old town that seemed to be abandoned by Twin Town forces, which honestly feels really curious, all things considered. I haven't heard anything from Balasar on how things have been going in regards to, like, courier discussions, but from the look of things, the militia has fallen on some really hard times if they're pulling back and, not maintaining anything outside of their walls. When it seemed safe, I turned my radio to the right station according to the info I had, and sure enough, the atomic maple ad was coming through loud and clear on a pretty consistent loop. That meant that there was some sort of power running to a transmitter, and with how clearly the ad was coming through, they had to be close. Luckily, it didn't take us long to find the source of the signal. Underneath an old shop marked, Jack and I found the entrance to a small vault. Not a corporate one, and not under a logo I recognize at all. But the security systems were disabled, and we were able to get it open fairly easily enough. It was a smaller one as well, maybe sized for a couple of families to wait out the fall for a few years. Some basic amenities that had been cleared out ages ago and replaced with weapons and gear that we're for sure taking with us when we get out of here. At least as much as we can fit in our packs and on the bikes. It was the transmission room that really caught my attention, though. I mean, I'm obviously surprised the old radio equipment is still functional, albeit almost useless to anyone outside of the vault. But here it was, playing the ad on loop and set to rewind once a day and start that loop again. Looks like it had been going for a few months, which kind of seems suspicious to me since what I know about the TTM, no one here would be rigging this up for no reason. However, that is not all there was, Wasteland. Whoever did set this recording to play did intend for someone to find it. They also rigged up a connection to a small fridge here in the radio room that held something very, very precious. A full case of atomic maple. 24 pristine bottles, albeit with lightly faded labels. I even passed my Geiger over the whole batch, and they are completely rat-free. I'm honestly a bit nervous to even crack one of these babies, since I don't want to drink them too fast. I miss being the one to polish off the last clean bottles in existence. I really want to get them back safely so I can talk with the historian about preserving a couple. Maybe see if we can work together to track down a recipe for the original formula. I mean, who knows? If someone with the supplies can start making it, then this might not be as much of a rarity going forward. Plus, having something that tastes so delicious, can keep you semi-hydrated, and isn't full of radiation would probably be good to keep around, right? Fuck it, I need to crack one of these. Oh god, that's good. Fuck. Whew. Sorry about that, Wasteland. I've been looking for so long. Absolutely worth it. Well, I guess that's about it for this broadcast, Wasteland. Jack and I are going to get this stuff back to the bunker as safely as possible, given the nature of our route back there. I'm just hoping that none of these bottles get smashed or anything. Maybe if I can find a blanket or some clothing scraps. Yeah, no, that should work. This has been Grimm Grinner on all channels. See you in the wastes. Welcome to The Waste is a Wasteland podcast brought to you by Edward Grimm Grinner Hutchinson, but made possible by Wastelanders like you. If you'd like to support the show in a fun way or get some merch, check me out on Patreon or on Etsy. The links to both of those, as well as all my social media, can be found at linktree.com/welcome to the wastes. See you in the wastes.